That is a very intense cup.
Size or crystals?
All of it.
Thank you.
Some days I've thought like, wow, this is really hard blending families.
Yeah.
But even in the days where it's hard, there's so much more love. It's such a deeper, richer existence, you know? I think living authentically is not conforming. I will like nurse the fever of my kids versus giving Tylenol or ibuprofen. Like I love to just go against the grain. So I don't do Botox.
Kourtney.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
We're all going to die.
Like
the
my
poison.
third eye is open.
Kourtney, do you see the judging eyes now?
Yeah.
Okay, they're here.
She just has to remember how much she loves me. Sometimes I think she forgets.
Just got to stop sending the long text messages.
I'm going to send her a novel after this.
No one's home, and it's Travis and I and the baby.
And what do you prefer? Do you love a house of chaos and fingerprints everywhere and messes, or do you love a house of like, or maybe you like both? You need the exhale moment, which is...
I mean, the balance is nice, but I think him and I love when everyone's home. We had family dinner last night. We have family dinner every Sunday, and there were 4 of them at dinner. I remember when we first would do family dinners, I would try to be like, okay, who are you bringing? And so we can set the table and make sure we have the table set for the right amount of people.
Oh, now it's more open.
And then it's just
policy.
like Travis would say, but we don't have to know, like just let it flow. You know, you would be like, I need their name. I'm making
their
a name
address,
tag.
their social security number.
Yeah. And I'm like, so now we set the table for the whole amount, which I think is 12.
Like the amount of
or
the table.
10. Yeah, that sits at the table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 12. We set the table for 12, and whoever comes. There's been times when it's been me, Travis, and Rocky. And
just you 3?
Just us.
Oh my gosh.
And the table's set for everyone, and no one else can make it. But it's usually everyone and some friends. But I remember just thinking, can't we do things that are just the family, like family trips or any of those? And there's usually...
But remember you as a teenager, you loved having a +1.
But I remember we would also do things like when we would go to Vail for Thanksgiving and go skiing, we weren't allowed to bring friends. And
No.
when we would go to...
But I don't think we could afford to bring friends.
Probably. And also people would do things with their own families for Thanksgiving. Or when we went to Hawaii, we weren't allowed to bring friends. It's a nice idea, but I've grown a lot of in the way of just being able to be like, it doesn't matter. Whoever comes to dinner, it's going to be...
you.
It's like I let go of a lot of the need to almost plan, or maybe it's even have control. I don't know what it is, but I've let go of that a lot to just be like, the table's set, whoever comes, comes. And for trips too, I'll be like, everyone's invited.
No, how
You
you
can all
handle
bring
a
a
trip
friend.
is insane to me. You
Yeah.
handle like me. No,
You're going to pick out who's in what room and what's going to...
And you are so carefree about it. And I love that. I wish I could be more
But
like
I've
that.
grown to be that way through the experience, because if I held on to it or let things like that bother me, which I'd used to be like, when it was family dinner, well, why can't you tell me who's coming? I don't get it. Why can't... I would ask Travis, can you tell me who's coming of the kids, and I'll see who's coming with the younger kids or whatever. And then I just was able to let it go.
When I was a stepmom, it was challenging for me. And I didn't have little babies. It was just me. I feel like, and maybe because you guys have had so much history, you and Travis, of being friends prior to your marriage, I feel like you've done a pretty good job of being now the stepmom.
Well, I love my role as stepmom because I don't feel like it's up to me to discipline. And so we've kind of allowed each other to, we'll talk about it. And then, you know, he can handle the harder things. I definitely give advice or try to be a good, I guess, role model, or even just how they say modeling is the best way to kind of teach your kids more than just saying certain things. So I feel just hopefully being a positive influence or an example, and we have lots of good conversations and we laugh, and, you know, I feel like it's in the best way. I can be there to be supportive, or really in any way that they want me to be, for as much or as little as they want, you know? And so I do think also having the relationship that we've had for so many years, I was friends with Travis and the kids for longer than we've been together, you know?
Yeah.
So I think having that history definitely helped. And I used to think too, going into it, oh, we have such a good foundation that it would just be seamless. But some days I've thought, wow, this is really hard blending families. And
I think regardless of how much history you have when you are friends with someone, and then as soon as you get in a relationship with someone, regardless of how great you are, I think kids feel like they also have to still know, like, where's my role? Like, let me test boundaries. And I think that's very normal.
Yeah.
But for you, you're probably like, wait, I thought we were good. And you are.
well,
but
and
it's
I
just
think
them
about,
testing.
yeah, also I think it was hard for all, but we moved out of our house that we had lived in, you know, for the kids' whole lives, and then moved in there, and then sharing space, which we did slowly. We stayed,
That
I
is
think,
hard.
a year and a half separately, but married, but living a block away from each other. So I think that was really a helpful transition.
I think if you're married, or if you're getting married, and if you did it before your marriage or after, doing that slow transition of that, I thought was really smart. You guys did it once you were married. But when you have kids, I think that's a really smart way to do it.
But even once you're then living together, there's things you don't even think about, like moving things in the pantry, or I don't know, just little things that you don't think about. And again, that's where I've had growth, because I would think, okay, take a deep breath. It's okay if the fridge is a mess, because there's some days 25 people going in there and looking for
my
something or
gosh.
grabbing something. Or now I've gotten it to such a good place. But I remember just,
Well, think about, you've always had younger kids. Mason is now 15, but you then took on a family with young adults. So you sort of missed you evolving into that. You know what I mean? You're just thrown into, like, in the young adult stage is a hard stage.
Yeah.
So now they're young adults who I'm sure want to socialize, have friends over. And you're probably like, wait, what? I'm used to Rain is what, 10? You know, you're used to young people. And now you have Rocky who's 1.
yeah. So
Like, it's
everyone is
crazy.
in such different phases.
Yeah.
But even in the days where it's hard, there's so much more love. There's so much, it's such a deeper, richer existence, you know? When we first got married, they said it takes 4 years
Oh my God.
to get on the same boat together
Holy.
as a family, as a blended family.
And what year are
Takes-
you in?
I got married
Oh my
in
gosh,
May.
you did.
So my anniversary is coming up, and it'll be 3 years.
That's crazy.
So it said it really truly takes 4 years to feel like you're all on the same boat and you're truly a family and, like, doing this together. Where
You're
like
almost there.
right, 1 year left.
You're almost there.
But I remember at the times when it didn't feel that way, or it feels like it's like your squad versus my squad, or, you know, we do things this way and you do things this way, or whatever it could be.
Well, think about how hard it is. I don't know if you remember before kids, just living with another person, just 2 adults integrating their lives together, blending, learning how to share a bed. Like, it could be share the TV. Like, I dread the newness of that. I'm like, I don't want you touching my fucking remote. This is my bedtime. Think about that. Now you're blending tiny people with
Also,
big
I
emotions. That's crazy.
I think doing it each our own way for so long
yeah.
and then coming together and being like, okay, now what's our way? How do we do it? Because I'll be like, but this is how I do it. And
But also, how do you do it as a couple?
right. What's our new way?
Right.
Now, what's the way? So I think it's like finding your way. And then
Do you have tips for people that are blending families?
I'll always think of it like this. What am I supposed to learn from this and grow from this? Say it's one specific thing. I'll be like, okay, how do I learn and grow from this moment? Or, we're two people with two brains that have different opinions sometimes. So how do you each express your side and be heard? How's it good enough, for everybody kind of thing? If I laugh about something and don't take it so seriously, it's kind of like a choice.
But it really irks the fuck out of a lot of people.
Well,
Like sometimes if you're like, because you will laugh in someone's face and just feel like, ha!
well, no,
good.
I don't mean like laugh at them. That is just uncomfortableness
Oh, okay.
of just like laughing because I don't know what else to do. But this is like having a choice to be like, oh, it's not that big of a deal, and just kind of like not like laugh it off if it means something
Don't sweat
to you.
the small stuff.
Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. But also, I mean, have a sense of humor. I don't want to give specific examples, but if a teenager did something that's like what teenagers do,
Right.
and instead of being like, I'm not the role that has to make it a big deal. So I feel like I could just be like,
True.
oh my gosh, think to
True.
myself, that was actually kind of funny and smart and whatever.
I do like that you said, your role is not to be the disciplinary with the older kids. And knowing that, I think something that Bruce did so well with us, or I could speak for myself, is Bruce never tried to be dad. And I always appreciated and respected that.
Okay, so that wasn't my experience.
Okay.
But maybe that's why it became your experience.
Thank you.
So grateful for that for you. But
really? He
yeah, I think
tried
that's
to be dad
why,
for you?
Well, not dad, but tried to be
The father
controlling
role.
and bossy and would tell me certain friends can't come over and would like.
But also maybe that experience molded you into being the step parent that you are today, whether it be things you didn't like from Bruce or things you did like.
Or I think about too with Denise, who
Denise was our dad's fiance
for 5 years.
We love her. We still love her.
And I love her. And
Shout
I
out Denise.
still have a relationship with her. And I think about what an amazing example she was to all of us. She taught us so much about being young ladies at the
She
time.
put me in cotillion. Do you know what cotillion is?
Mm-hmm.
Loved cotillion.
She didn't do that for me, but
Oh, you were just born a lady.
with knowing table manners or whatever it is.
It is. Oh my God.
No,
Does that mean I was a beast?
No, I wish that I did that, but maybe I was just older, so maybe she was able to teach us.
You're right. That means I was a savage at the table.
You could have been.
I could
You
have
were
been.
a wild
I could see
kid.
myself.
So yeah, I think having that really positive experience with Denise really helped me too. And I think
Was that why
almost
you didn't
being-
connect with Bruce?
well, yeah.
I just thought you didn't like him because he was replacing dad. Not that he did.
Yeah.
No one could replace dad, but that's just why I thought you didn't like him.
So weird that you had such a different experience. I think it's because you were younger.
I had such a different experience, but maybe mom had a talk with him. Maybe your rejection taught him something. So maybe it was a lesson for everyone.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, I want to call my dad. And then he would like hang up the phone.
Oh
We
my
would have
God.
yelling wars.
Yeah, that is not my experience at all. That's crazy. See, you can live in the same house, being raised by the same parents,
Not
and
even know.
not even know and have totally different experiences. Well, I'm sorry you went through that.
Thank you. It was fine. That's why I moved into dad's.
I had no clue. So here's the deal. You guys know I love snacking and I love popcorn, but I'm also always looking for ways to eat more protein during the day. That's why I created Cloud Popcorn. It has 3 times the protein of your standard popcorn, and it tastes delicious. I created Cloud because I wanted a popcorn that pulls its weight with no trade-offs. Cloud is crafted from whole grain popcorn sourced from Nebraska and is non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, and free from both seed oils and added flavors. You can try Cloud now at cloudfoods.com. You are going to love it.
I used to try to be the kind of person who goes to nurseries on the weekend, that person sipping iced coffee, casually pushing around a cart full of soil and dreams. But in reality, I'd forget or I'd get overwhelmed, and I don't even have a car. Uber drivers are not okay with you putting ferns in the backseat. I learned that the hard way. By the end of it, I would just end up ordering a sad artificial fern out of desperation and frustration. That was before I found fast-growing trees, and let me tell you, I've been living my backyard fantasy ever since. I ordered a couple of privacy trees because my neighbor's hot tub is a little too close for comfort. Not only did they show up fast, but they looked better than half the stuff I had ever bought in store. And get this, I did not have to lift a finger beyond opening the box. No dragging a tree into the back of my hatchback, or lack thereof. Just beautifully packed, healthy plants delivered right to my door. Plus, they've got actual plant experts on call. So when I panicked and thought I overwatered, I didn't have to Google, "Can you drown a tree?" I just asked someone who knew what they were doing. And this is the kicker. It cost me a fraction of what a landscaper quoted me, like 90% less. This spring, they have the best deals for your yard. Up to half off on select plants and other deals. And listeners of our show get 15% off their first purchase when using the code Khloe at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code Khloe at checkout. Fastgrowingtrees.com, code Khloe. Now is the perfect time to plant. Use Khloe to save today. Offers valid for a limited time. Terms and conditions may apply. All right. Summer is almost here, and Mint Mobile has a hot take that I am fully on board with. Getting a summer bod? That's out. Getting your savings bod? That's what's in. This season, we're talking skimpy wireless bills and fat wallets. And thanks to Mint Mobile's premium wireless plans starting at just $15 a month, you can flex those savings without breaking a sweat. Or the bank. I've made the switch, and let me tell you, it's honestly shocking how much I used to overpay. With Mint Mobile, I'm getting the same reliable service, if not better, than my old provider. I stream, scroll, call, and text just like before, but now I'm actually saving money every month. Mint Mobile keeps it simple. Every plan includes high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone, keep your number, and bring along all your contacts. No store visits, no weird activation fees, and no drama. So why keep paying those jaw-dropping bills with surprise overages? Mint Mobile is here to rescue your wallet. Right now, you can get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get your summer savings and shop premium wireless plans at mintmobile.com/Khloe. That's mintmobile.com/Khloe. Upfront payment for $45 of 3-month 5GB plan required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customer offer for first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details.
And how do you like being a mom about 9 years later?
I was like, being a mom.
No, I mean, just starting over
Yeah,
9
starting
years later.
over.
That's crazy.
So I felt like becoming a mom again really ignited, like intensely ignited my motherly role, my motherly instinct, and I feel like my feminine energy. Remember, I would always send
Yes,
you
I've
videos
gotten many videos about this.
feminine energy, and I feel like it intensely ignited that feeling inside me of just, I am a mom. I had a strong desire to not work and stay home and be with the kids, which is, I would say, probably like once a week I'll work.
Does
like,
today count?
This is today.
Okay.
This is
yes. Thank you.
And it's not like the whole day. It's,
2 hours.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a couple hours of my day. And then the rest of the time I'm truly at home and I'm, being a mom.
Is there anything that you either forgot about, like, oh, wow, I forgot about this stage? Or is there just, because Rocky came 9 years after Rain, Or is there something you're like, wow, I'm going to do this so differently because I either learned I don't need that or just you're in a different phase in your life?
Maybe the stuff. I would want to have the best lotion or the best oil or whatever. And now I just use organic coconut oil, you know? I keep it pretty simple.
Even I think for me, your first kid, you overdo everything. And then your second, you're like, we don't need half this crap. I mean, obviously there's marketing tactics and I get why we are conditioned that we need to buy all this stuff. And a new mom, you're nervous and scared. And so you're like, I need everything.
I had things before, but I remember like when mom would try to stress me out about the room or be like,
Oh, yes.
it's not even painted. And that's when I said people had babies
Yes,
in
in
caves.
caves.
It just like gave me peace to know it's okay. Whatever it is, as long as I have a boob and,
Yes.
you know,
You have two of those.
whatever. And one thing I guess we did differently, I did differently this time is I've always shared a bed with the other kids, but I share a room. We share a room with Rocky.
But eventually, do you think he'll have his own room?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course. And I think it started more from just space in the house, you know?
But this style of parenting is called attachment style parenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what is that exactly?
I think it's really not separating for as much as possible in the first definitely 3 years. It really helps, I think, nurture their attachment, secure attachment. And it's just even without knowing that. I remember I read the attachment parenting book before Penelope.
Oh,
But it's kind of just what my instincts tell, like
Say.
I lean towards, and it's like what they tell me to do. I feel like just my motherly instincts.
I love that.
Mother knows best.
No. Oh my gosh. Andresa sings me that song all the
Oh
time.
my gosh.
Okay, I want to look at questions now.
I
What
thought one
questions
of
would you
them that
like?
was interesting was like, how do we do things differently
Yes, as a family.
as like mother,
Okay.
like as the mother role? And I feel like I was thinking about it because first I'm like, I don't know what Khloe does. I have no idea. And then I started thinking,
Wait, let me ask you.
oh, I was just going to say that you are very scheduled
I am.
and very scheduled and planned out throughout the whole day, like
Yes.
activities, you know, outfits, all the things, bedtimes, food.
You don't have a bedtime for your kids?
Well, we have a general time, but we're not definitely as babies. We had no schedule. Rocky doesn't really have a schedule, but he has a general thing. But if it's like some days, like today, we got up at 7, made breakfast for the kids, and they got out the door. And then I noticed he was so tired at around 8:30, and so we nursed in bed, and he went to
Let me
sleep.
also say, if my kids are tired, I'm like, they could go to sleep.
Yeah, no, I'm not
like,
saying
you better stay awake.
Yeah.
Until
No, I could just tell. But
But I
then
do have a
today I
bedtime.
have no idea what nap time would be. And like, it's okay. We're just kind of go with the flow. And also with the attachment style parenting, I hold him for his naps
the whole time.
the whole time.
Wow.
On,
That's crazy to me.
I think,
'Cause
Saturday.
he's also not a light baby. He's
He's like 23 pounds.
so you're holding a 23-pound baby for 2 hours?
3 hours
3
sometimes.
hours?
Yeah. Once he took a nap for like 5 hours. And
Holy shit. In
We'll
a
just-
sling or just
no, like
free
I'll
balling
sit in our
this?
little chair,
Okay.
usually in the room. And then
That's great.
I still have my little breastfeeding pillow.
Okay.
And then he'll kind of lay on there, but my arm's under. And then I have a little radiation blanket that I put over to like protect from EMFs for
From
phone
where?
use.
Oh, from your
or
Don't you have that thing that you made me
and
buy?
I have that little
Oh.
sticker on my phone too.
I wonder if we have to replace that sticker.
I was curious. I don't think so.
How do you think we differ as moms?
Well,
You,
I
me,
think
Kim,
I think
Kylie.
even just how I'll do like extended breastfeeding, co-sleeping.
But not everyone can breastfeed. So some of
No,
it's a
but I'm
choice.
just saying,
Some
yeah.
of it isn't possible.
No, but it's
i.e.
also
me.
what it wasn't possible.
I couldn't breastfeed. I've tried. I did. I had a person come to Cleveland and I don't know
Try to
what
a
they're called.
lactation
Yes.
consultant.
And they came for over a week, tried. I did the tea and the cookies and these sweet potato
I think
things.
you were stressed out too.
I was just a tad.
I read something recently that said if you do things the opposite of how you were raised in certain things, like in certain areas, that you're healing yourself. You're healing that wound of things that you didn't get that you needed.
Do you think you remember breastfeeding?
Oh, I wasn't breastfed.
I'm saying,
Oh,
do
as
you
a child?
Yes. Like, well, yeah. Are you like,
Like, are my kids going to remember that?
I'm assuming you're saying now you breastfeed because you weren't breastfed or something.
Right.
So, but you wouldn't known you weren't breastfed if
I
mom didn't
ask.
tell you.
But I think it's
Subconsciously?
subconscious. It's like an instinct inside of me that's like, with Mason, I breastfed for like 14 months. I wasn't thinking like, whoa, I wasn't breastfed, so I'm going to breastfeed this long. It's just,
No, yeah,
I think like
do what makes you happy.
I think it's a feeling inside of just like, or just an instinct or intuition. That was the first time I read that, was recently, of that sentiment. And I just thought it was interesting.
So it's healing your lack of breastfeeding.
I think it's that connection, or like co-sleeping, or like that I don't leave for extended periods of time. And
What are your
things like
issues with
that.
mom? Let's talk about that.
No, I don't have issues.
I feel like subliminally.
Well, no, I don't have issues now. Now I feel like I can ask her questions. I even went to visit MJ recently, and just out of curiosity, because I feel like it's good for us to know our just even family, how our family did things before us, just more from a curiosity standpoint. I was asking MJ, like, how did you do things? Did you breastfeed? Did you have help?
What did she say?
She said she breastfed. Forgot how long she told me. And then I asked, but I recorded it actually.
Nice.
But then I asked her, like, did you co-sleep? Where did the kids sleep? Did they sleep in their own
It was a very
room
different time
by themselves? No, it was.
Like kids back in those days were not seen, not heard. That was like the expression. No playrooms, no toys were in the main part of the house. Like kids
This
weren't
isn't
hiding.
I'm not asking to judge. I'm just asking to know.
Yeah, no, but I'm just telling you, it was also, you have to
Just
have
a
like the
different time.
context of the era. So
And
if
then
she
I was
says
asking
no,
mom too.
oh yeah,
When we went to lunch the other day, and I was asking her, like, what did they do? Did you have a monitor? Was cry
They
it
didn't
out
have
like a thing?
monitors.
She said she
They had
did.
sound only.
Sound
Yeah.
only. Yeah, she said she had a sound only monitor. And I said, was cry it out a thing at that time? And she said she would try, but she would always cave. And I was thinking, after how long was I sitting there crying alone in a dark room?
Oh my gosh.
But I think I had resentment about certain things even before I ever started therapy. And then I think as maybe the first year or so on my start of my therapy journey, I would have certain resentful feelings, which already existed. It was just kind of like working through them. And then I think finally getting to the place of either if there's actions that happen that I don't love or agree with, just to not take them personally, or even feel the need to like correct them, or, have a conversation about every little thing with balance, because I also just don't want to keep it in and it keeps happening and then I like explode or something. I think it's good to thoughtfully say something if it makes you feel a certain way. But yeah, to now just being able to be like curious about how things were done, but not really judgmental, because we're all just on a different
Journey.
path.
I love that.
It's interesting though. I always hear the thing too, how kids could grow up with the same parents and the same household, but they're so
everything.
different. But it's because they get a different version of you because you're at a different place in your life. You know more. You're just a different person. But I think I love our traditions that we've always been.
And I love how over the top I do, because I love like any holiday. I'm like, I lean in with the napkins or the cookies or whatever. And but I learned that from mom.
Growing up with mom in the 80s.
All right, you guys, I have huge news to share with you. One of my favorite supplement brands, Symbiotica, just dropped the first ever liquid colostrum. It seems like everyone is talking about colostrum, and Symbiotica just set the new standard. No more 4 scoops a day, just 1 liquid packet, and you are good to go. The flavor is vanilla sea salt, and it tastes just like cake batter. It's so delicious that it's actually hard for me to believe it's truly good for me. Perfect for my sweet tooth. And I've got a special offer for you. You just have to give it a try and let me know what you think. So, what is colostrum? It is the first milk produced by mammals after giving birth. It's essentially nature's first superfood, packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and growth factors that are key for longevity. If you struggle with gut issues or you want glowy skin, healthy hair, and strong nails, this is the product for you. Symbiotica's liquid colostrum stands out as a full raw complex. It's completely unprocessed, unlike many others on the market. They source their bovine colostrum directly from a family-owned farm of grass-fed cows in California. This makes it the most bioavailable option you can find. Most importantly, they stand by their calves first promise, meaning the baby calves get all the colostrum they need from their mother first. Symbiotica is my go-to for clean, science-backed wellness. Their formulas don't contain any seed oils, preservatives, toxins, artificial additives, or so-called natural flavors. They never compromise on quality, and it's something that you can truly taste and feel in every packet. Try the first ever liquid colostrum today. Go to symbiotica.com/Khloe for 25% off your order and free shipping. That's CYMBIOTIKA.com/Khloe for 25% off and free shipping. This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the US. That's right, no prescription needed. Here's the thing. About a third of women face barriers to accessing prescription birth control. Whether it's the hassle of just getting an appointment, taking the time off of work or school, dealing with insurance, or just carrying the constant mental load, it adds up. And honestly, it's something that people have had to deal with for far too long. But now, Opill is changing that. It's empowering women by putting birth control in your control. For the first time, you don't need to ask permission, don't need health insurance, and don't need anybody's opinion to take the daily birth control pill. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, estrogen-free, and again, no prescription is required. You can find it online or at most major retailers. And as someone who's seen friends and family struggle just to stay consistent with their reproductive health options, I have to say that this is huge. The ease, the access, the autonomy, it's a real win. Opill is the birth control in your control. And you can use code Khloe for 25% off your first month at Opill at opill.com. That's code Khloe at OPILL.com. Check out Opill to see if it's right for you. Lately, I have been all about making my life easier. And one of the biggest upgrades has been getting dinner off my plate. Literally. I'm not exactly a domestic goddess, and I don't know about you, but after a long day, the last thing I want to do is cook, clean, and figure out what I'm going to eat for dinner. That's where Factor comes in. They send fresh, ready-to-eat meals right to your door. And I mean actually fresh, not frozen. And they're ready to eat in just 2 minutes. No prepping, no cooking, no dishes. Just heat and eat. So instead of spending your evening in the kitchen, you can actually unwind or get outside and enjoy some sunlight for once. They've got 45 options every week. I've tried the keto chicken Alfredo, the turkey chili mac, and I swear, the protein plus garlic herb salmon is better than what I would get at a restaurant. And I never skip breakfast now. Their egg bites and smoothies are so easy, especially when I'm running late and rushing out the door, which is every day. Factor also makes it easy to stick with whatever goals you've got going on. Whether you're trying to cut calories, pack in more protein, or stick to keto, there's something for you. Plus, they've got snacks and desserts that don't taste healthy in the sad way. The peanut butter brownie, mwah, chef's kiss. So if you're ready to eat better and actually enjoy your meals with zero prep, Factor's the move. Get started at factormeals.com/Khloe50off and use code Khloe50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's Khloe50off, KHLOE50OFF at factormeals.com/Khloe50off for 50% off plus free shipping. Enjoy.
I get asked about you all the time in regards to your IVF journey. And I'm like, but she didn't do one.
Oh, like people think that that's how I got pregnant.
Yes. And I know. And so I know you talked about, yes, you tried IVF and it didn't work for you, but how Rocky was conceived was that he wasn't through IVF. And no shame to IVF. I have an IVF baby. Love IVF. It's a great thing. But I do think that, and I don't know if you care to talk about it, but people always, to me, when they say it to me, like, well, what doctor did she use? And how long was she doing IVF before that? And I'm like, I think to my knowledge, Rocky was just naturally
a year after
conceived.
stopping IVF.
Oh, a year
and
after.
He conceived naturally on Valentine's Day. We conceived naturally on Valentine's Day. But
I still can't believe you went into labor Halloween, but he was born
November 1st.
Dream and True were telling me the story. Dream knows like every specific.
Oh my gosh.
She knew the time of when he was born. Yeah, she was like, it was 12:01. She almost had
a
12 Halloween baby.
12 midnight on the
well,
dot.
that's not nice.
Well,
that's crazy. Because Kourtney is the biggest Halloween fan. That's why.
No, I love that he
obviously
wanted his birthday to be November 1st. But my lesson from IVF was that it really felt like it was going against me, against physically, spiritually, mentally, everything that I believed and felt. It just felt like it was going against what my body wanted. And so it didn't work for me at all. We never made an embryo through IVF. It also felt like a monthly negative, almost like rejection every time. It would be like, it didn't work or, this isn't happening and your body's doing this. It was like someone negatively talking about my body to me every month after month. And then you almost start to feel that way about your body, like, I can't do this or, whatever. So once I let go of all of that, it's almost like certain fear-based doctors that kind of are like, you need to do this because I don't know. That's kind of what was happening. So once I was able to let go of all that and just trust in God, it happened.
Why don't you talk about your faith and how much faith plays a part in your life?
I feel like people are always surprised. They'll be like, what? You witches, like,
I get that all the time.
Believe in God?
When I talk about that I read the Bible every day, people are like,
yeah.
You do?
I read, I have a daily devotional that I read. I've been trying to ask some of our friends out that live near us to do a Bible study, which I think would be amazing for the adults.
I would love it. I told you that I want to do it with you. And I'm going to try that new church, not this weekend because it's Mother's Day, but the next weekend. Do you and Travis have the same, do you guys pray together? Is he faith-based? Is he on his own journey?
I feel like we both are, and I feel like we say prayers together when we're when there's something coming up. I mean, I say the kids' prayers every night. If there's something that they might be anxious about at school or something, we'll pray in those moments, pray before flights or travel together as a family.
I think the more you talk to God, the louder you'll start hearing him. Because at first you're like, well, okay, it's so awkward or weird, it's just foreign to you. But then the more that you talk to him, those answers do show up, or innately you find the answer, you figure it out. And that's how he speaks to you. So keep talking to him. What do you think people misunderstand about our relationship as sisters the most?
I don't know. What do people think about our relationship?
From what I hear, people have more of a misconception about you and Kim. I think they think you and Kim
are like enemies,
hate each other.
Yeah.
And I think you almost talk to Kim more than you talk to me. Because whenever I'm with Kim, you're always texting or calling, and I'm like, that bitch doesn't call me this much.
Really? It's probably either about kid stuff.
I know P and North, so you guys have the same stuff going on.
Yeah.
How do you decide what's actually worth your energy these days?
So one thing that was surprising also is being a mom of 4 or 7, but yeah, mom of 7. Obviously, all my kids deserve my energy, but just of being like, how do I prioritize here? Because like I said, I want to be with the baby as much as I can, but then if one of the other kids need me and if it doesn't make sense to, sometimes they need one-on-one attention. And so I found sequencing, like putting things in order of
Okay.
importance has really helped me.
Yeah, sometimes we say yes so much, but does it actually add value to our family? Or is it more dividing and separating it? I
That's
don't
a
know.
good way to think of it. Because even with activities, like mom said to me the other day, and I love challenging the things that she will come to me with, but she was
Lord,
like,
do I know?
she was like, you know, Chloe's son does all these activities every single day, blah, 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 like naming the whole thing. I go,
I also don't like the comparing because that always just makes
well,
you.
also I said to her, I said, you know, it's also, and this is not for your son because he's 3, but when the kids get older, I said it's not great to like fill
overschedule. I
right,
agree.
overschedule or fill too much of their time with scheduling because they also need time to just relax.
Chill. I
and-
agree. With True, I pulled back some of her activities. I don't like overscheduling.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to balance with all the kids, and I felt this need to drive them to school in the mornings. And then I started talking about it and thinking about it. And then I was like, is it important to you guys? Like I said today, for example, would you rather me drive you to school in the morning or go to your game? And it was go to the game. So then I was like, it's okay. Then I can spend the morning with, you know, Travis and Rocky, and then I can go to the game this afternoon. And then I can, you know, figure out, it's like each person getting their own time.
Yeah. What is your favorite memory of you and I as a duo?
There's a lot.
I know. We have a lot. Or what's something that stands out? Doesn't have to be your favorite.
I mean, the days in Miami were fun.
So fun.
More fun than the days in the Hamptons, I would say.
Obviously. Did you see Kylie was just in Miami?
I saw.
And I was like, girl, she was like FaceTiming me from Miami and she was having the best time. Oh, you're going to die if I show you this video that she sent me. But
Miami's just such a good time.
And I was like, you've no idea. Court and I, we ran that city. It was amazing.
Yeah, in a hot summer when no one was in town.
That's probably why we ran it. What's your least favorite memory?
Just like the era where it felt like you and Kim were like the tables turned and you and I would gang up on Kim for so long. And then it felt like the tables turned.
So you didn't like both eras, or you didn't like when Kim and I would gang up on you?
No, I liked when we ganged up on Kim. That was fun. But then later, once you and Kim would gang up on me, and I was the sensitive one. I think it was once I started therapy. And then once I would kind of started challenging the ways that we did things sometimes, like the way that we just all functioned.
No, I know that era, and I hated it too.
And so I think
I still
it's just
sometimes feel like we're in
that
era. Sometimes.
Well, I feel like I love to just go against the grain. I think
But do you do that because you really care, or you just are
No, I think living
determined to go against the
authentically.
grain?
I think living authentically is not conforming to whatever it is. And whether for me, it's like there's so many ways. There's ways like we function as a family that it's like if someone does the same thing every day, like I do it with everything. It's not about our family. Like let's say the school system. I'll think, why do kids fucking go to school? Truly. It's so dated.
Oh, I'm such a homeschool person, so don't even get me going.
So then I'll start thinking, and then like, you know, my kids will send me videos about like, why do kids go to school? It'll be like really successful people, and they'll be like, my kids never go to school and they're never going to and whatever. And then I'm like, okay, what's the goal here? You want to do homeschool? Let's do it, you know, or whatever it is. I think it's anything. I will like nurse the fever of my kids versus giving Tylenol or ibuprofen. Like I just like want to do that. And whatever it is, there's so many things like that where I feel like I kind of do. Maybe in the world, the generally maybe does more what I do, but in the United States.
Oh, it's Kimberly. Hi, I'm doing my podcast with.
Oh, you are? How's it going?
I'm the first sister guest.
She showed up.
Well done.
Wow, your makeup looks so pretty. Kim's getting ready for the Met.
Oh, I forgot.
You look
Met
so
Monday.
you look so pretty.
Thank you.
Oh, I see who's in
Well,
the
I
back.
just wanted to say good luck today, guys, on doing your podcast.
No, she didn't.
No, you didn't.
You didn't know she was doing it.
Yes, I did. I have a camera crew.
Oh,
Totally.
productions. That's
Oh.
so nice of them.
Well, good luck at the Met Ball.
Good luck at the Met.
Thank you.
We can't
Thank
wait
you.
to see how
Yeah, we
everyone
can't
looks.
Wait,
That's
what
the
time
fun.
are you going out?
Imagine being us and just being able to sit home and think, watch everyone on the red carpet. I can't wait.
Yeah, and imagine being us, being able to walk down the red carpet. How fun and exciting and all glammed up.
I'm going to be
Different
home
vibes.
eating cloud popcorn in
Fuck
some
yeah.
pajamas.
And some.
Yes,
Lemon
well, I'll be
waiter.
eating it. I'll be drinking 818.
Oh, hell yeah. See,
Yeah.
we have a product for every situation.
We do, and I'll be wearing my Skims with my Kylie makeup.
And
and
just
my
take your
Khloé
Lemmy
perfume.
purr for fun.
Yeah. Don't
Yes.
forget that Lemmy purr.
Okay, I love you guys.
Oh,
Have
thank
fun.
you. I love you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Did you know Lemmy purrs are number one Lemmy?
Stop. Did you ever think like you were going to dominate with Lemmy like this?
I kind of did.
Of course you did. No, that's so you. Of course you did.
But no, it's obviously such a blessing. And I love that people resonate with it and that it's fun and that
The
it's
cutest branding.
It's
Like
so
all your
fun.
commercials. I will say your best one was Let Me Sleep with that gorgeous sleeping beauty that
It
you
was.
had. Yeah. Me.
Sleeping Beauty.
That was me. Let's do a lightning round. Is there anything that really bothers you about me? I'm here to listen.
I mean, sometimes
Yes, let's go through the list. Go through the list. What
sometimes
bothers
you
you
send
about? Oh,
no,
you're going
for
to talk
real.
about sending things?
No, sometimes you send a really long text message answers, and I'm like, who has the time?
First of all,
If anyone here has you on text, I'm sure they know what I'm talking about. But
They all do.
You're very thorough in your response, and it's
so
not.
God forbid I'm
no,
thorough.
it's not
Let me
a
be
bad
vague.
quality, but sometimes I'm
It's
like,
annoying.
dude, we get it. If Kim will send something to the chat, you'll be like, Kim, this is absolutely the most fantastic thing I've ever seen. And,
Wow.
you know,
I'll
whatever.
Keep,
and
so
I'm
keep
just
it
like,
for the private chat.
no, I'm just like,
I want people to feel seen by me and
No,
for them
I
to
get it,
know
and
that
they
I'm
do.
actually paying attention, unlike you,
no,
who won't respond for 3 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
No, but go on. What else? I feel like this is good for you. It's healthy. Tell me what
I
else.
think that's honestly it.
Kourtney, don't lie. Tell
I
me
think
what else.
sometimes you'll just like look at me with like just judging eyes. Like you'll just be there, like
What?
kind of judging,
Oh,
like
no.
judging away.
Okay.
It's not today's mood. It's a certain mood.
Okay. I
It's
don't
just
feel like, maybe I do. I don't know.
it's just kind of like, oh, yeah, I don't know. It's just a little.
When I do it next, will you call
Oh,
it out?
I will.
So I can be aware?
I will.
Because I have a very expressive face, but I don't mean to do that. And you would
Yeah.
think I've had a lot of Botox and it still just
Really?
shines on through.
So I don't do Botox, and
Okay,
I
it's
think.
sort of a joke, Kourtney.
Oh well, I was gonna
get
say
it. We're all
I
gonna
feel
die.
Like
the
my
poison.
third eye is open, and
Kourtney.
so I feel like my intuitions are very awake.
Kourtney, do you see the judging eyes now?
Yeah,
Okay, they're here.
with no other facial expression.
Just the judging eyes. Okay.
Maybe that's why they stand out so much.
Because of the facial
There's nothing
Botox.
else moving, just the
Just the eyes. Oh my gosh, do I have big eyes? Like
No,
deer in headlights?
no, you don't. That's all about you.
Long text messages, judging eyes. I'm sure there's more.
It's kind of what I said on the chat the other day. I said, I will always push the envelope or push a
Oh.
little against what you guys are. Not always, if I feel it. And then I'm just going to give a little thing to maybe sprinkle a little thinking dust. And
Aren't
then
you
move
happy
on.
that I added you back to that chat? Because
Well, then
if
I
it
said,
weren't
take
for
me off if you.
Right, but nobody
have a
wanted you
problem.
off.
Yeah.
I added you back.
So
Because
glad.
Kourtney loves to leave a chat.
So
and I
glad
said, oh,
that I'm-
not that fast. You're
The
coming.
chats
You're
are,
staying here.
especially when Rocky was even smaller, the chats are overwhelming when I'm like trying
Kendall
to.
hasn't responded in 2 years. I don't know if she's on it
Probably
anymore.
has us restricted.
She probably changed her number.
Well, Kylie hasn't responded in longer than that. So
Kourtney used to hold up picket signs. She used to make picket signs around the house and protest.
because mom made the same dinner every night for like years. And I was like, no more spaghetti. I need something else.
Yes. Do you understand why she probably made spaghetti every night now?
I guess. But I mean, I don't know. And then I would say, I wonder if it was that same pasta. You know, the pasta
with
that
the
she makes? The
Pasta and peppers.
or the pasta primavera.
Yeah, that's what it is. Pasta with peppers. Pasta primavera.
Yeah. I was
I
like,
love that
no
pasta.
more pasta primavera.
Rob and I love that. Okay, Kourtney. I
It's
could
been
talk to you
real.
all day.
This was great.
Good. It was great for me too.